Hey friends, we're not going to be long. This is going to go onto the Patreon. I am actually getting ready to leave, and before I leave, I wanted um, to connect and share a little midday manna with you. Thank you guys for being here. There is a significant burden, blockage, or barrier that is about to be removed. Something that has been very difficult, arduous, or heavy for you to carry is about to be lifted. Some of you, this could come in the form of an offer perhaps that was made that maybe didn't seem so appealing previously. Sometimes later in the journey, that can come up and be realized later on to be more aligned with love than what you did initially. It's kind of like, when you're cleaning out the garage or cleaning out the closet and someone says you need some help and you say, no, I got it. But then when you start to actually get in there, you realize like, oh, maybe I should have accepted that helping hand because maybe they knew that this would be maybe a little bit more difficult. I don't think that this is bad. I think it's just an indication to you of wherein to be secure and God's faithfulness to you as it demonstrates itself in various areas of your life. Hey, Vegas God, it's good to see you. And some of you, by doing so, you're going to see it more and more. A lot of times we don't think about this when we don't see clarity about what is a gift from God and what is not a gift from God. We will deny those things that are God's provision, that are God's love. And what we do is say, no, that's not what I want, even if it's the very thing that we prayed for. And in saying, no, God, that's not what I want, then sometimes we just have to sit in our circumstances until we come to the realization, actually, that was what I want. And so there may be circumstances that play like that today. This can also be like, sometimes you don't realize this, in other situations, but sometimes people don't realize this about you, that maybe they were showing me love, that was God that maybe had them make this offer or to say this or to do that. And that doesn't get through to us. And a lot of times it's because I just heard skunk, but it's because maybe it is the stench of what we're dealing with sometimes can be so unsettling that we're so much in our feelings that we don't accept the love it is that they are perhaps wanting to offer us. So there could be some significance around that. Let's jump in. We do have a specific person that's very that's coming into play in these messages. So this person feels like you know them by name, or this is someone that when their name holds weight with you. So whether you're in their company, you're around them, when someone says their name, it immediately connects with your energy. Okay. It has a lot of weight. It gets your attention. You notice like I don't know why it gives like who's talking about them. Okay. Oh no, you might be a little bit territorial. This could even be family. So, for some of you, this could be like your children, but it could definitely be like a significant other, or perhaps someone that maybe has the qualities of a person that's like that, where it's like, hold on, I know them, right? Why you got that name in your mouth? Okay. And it doesn't matter, man or woman, right? Take it as you will. There is what feels like, I don't know why, I feel the energy of name dropping being at play. And someone knows, I feel, whose name to drop, and they know the weight that this particular name holds. Okay. I do feel the energy of what could be, for some, it could be like petty, where someone knows, oh, if I say their name, they're going to be in their feelings, right? Oh, princess, is that who's on your mind? So sweet. And it could very well be things like that, right? Somebody says that and it gets your attention, like, oh, my baby, right? Like all about my baby. But I do feel this energy that is almost like knowing that because this can sometimes be like, if you're in a public place and someone's on your mind and someone says their name, even if it's not even referring to them, when that person says their name, the gravity that you feel, the weight that you feel on you is like I know spirit is speaking to me. I know, and this can even be showing you that something means a lot or is bigger than what you realize it is. I do feel this energy of like when this person, again, when they present, when they show up, when their name is said, when you connect with them or make contact with them, it's deeper than what you know. Something makes me feel, and this could be this person is much deeper than what you realize they are. I do get like whomever this is very connected to energy. You may not be aware of that. So it's almost like when I don't know exactly what you're doing, but I get the energy of every single touch is more deep than you know. That means anytime you make contact with them, they're seeing below the surface of you. They're seeing below what could be the surface of what it is that you're saying. There's more behind it in the things that you do. If you're giving something, whoever this is, they're able to feel more deeply. Okay. I do feel like this person is no longer, if they once were, they're no longer in their feelings about that depth. Okay. Because sometimes that can catch a person off guard. It can make a person feel uncomfortable. But I do feel like whomever this is, they no longer feel some type of way about the way that they are connecting with your energy. Okay. I feel this person maybe feels more relieved or more comfortable. And it has changed them, maybe even knowing that someone is able to connect so deeply at heart. That was not clear initially, just so that you know. I do feel the energy of confusion, a lack of comprehension, a lack of understanding. And I do feel like that could very well have been on your end where you weren't clear. You didn't realize that this person is more deeply connected to energy, period, or that they're more deeply connected to contact. And I'm getting a focus around like physical contact. And again, that could also include the vibration of hearing your voice. It gives like direct contact. I'm not talking indirect contact. I'm talking like, again, vocal inflections, the things that touch you directly. I'm getting like without an intermediary. There's nothing or no one coming between me and what I hear. I hear it straight from the horse's mouth. I see you with my own eyes. So when I lay visual contact on you, there's something like that was not understood. Again, I touch you with my own hands. So when I touch you, there's something about that it was not realized that someone, it's almost like they get more information, or they're able to, something about like, somebody's able to tap in very deeply with whatever form of contact it is that they're using. This could even be smell, where someone has a very keen sense of smell, and there are certain things that they pick up on based on when they pick up on the scent or fragrance of a person. And that can even be like attitude, demeanor. It gives the energy of like the way that you move, the way you make your decisions. Someone is more connected to that. And it's almost like, let me be very clear. This person is very good at identifying people who have false motivations. So like gold diggers, things of that nature, people who I get the energy of like just want to be cute or just want attention for being cute. This person is able to easily pick up on things like that. People who just want the satisfaction of, or just want, maybe it is to have their way. This person is very attuned to, they're tapped in that manner. Whoever this is has a lot of experience, I feel, with different type of people. They're very attractive, and that may not be physically, but it feels as though they have a role, a skill, or a talent where they automatically connect with a lot of different types of people. So they're very spiritually familiar. They know the spirit of someone who is impure. They also know the spirit of someone who is pure. Now, in this, I'm getting that you may have, it's very possible you could have made this person, thank you for being here, Marlene, good to see you. You could have made this individual some sort of an offer, or they may have made you an offer, okay? Um, the beauty of life is that if like attracts like, and you didn't know them or maybe understand their way of maybe doing things, chances are there was the same as it pertains to you. And I feel the energy of what could be something that was maybe taken in poor taste or distaste, something that it's almost like it feels like when things something comes out of nowhere, someone says something out of nowhere, and it feels like there wasn't an expectation of that, but my desire is just to disconnect from the feelings associated. Okay. I feel an energy that's like that, that is like, hold on, maybe I need to take a step back because I don't like the way that felt. I don't like the way, based on my understanding of that, that is not what feels like. That's challenging, right? That's not, I wouldn't have, and this is kind of like the energy of like, I wouldn't have chosen you if I had known that. And it feels, and it's almost like if that's how you do things, or if that's how you move, or if that's how you operate, I would not have chosen you, or I would not have made the decision that I made had I known that that's maybe what you were going to say, what you were going to do, or if I known that's how you feel. Okay, so there's something of that play. I will say it feels somewhat serious, where whatever this is, the stench of it is kind of what I'm getting. I don't know why I'm getting like rotten eggs, sulfuric in nature, where something was, I'll just say, spicy enough that someone, it changed their mind. That's like, I don't want to see that. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to, there's something of that nature that I feel for this person perhaps warranted cutting off or disconnection. Now that I realize, again, that's how you handle things, or that's how you do things, or that's the way you go about things. It feels like when you perceive someone to be playing games, okay? Then if I perceive you to be playing games, then I get the energy of like, I'm going to reassess everything. I'm going to reassess the level of commitment that I gave to you. I'm going to reassess if there's something that I'm offering as a resource. I'm going to question whether or not that should be something that I offer you as a resource. Do you deserve my time? Do you deserve my energy? Do you deserve my efforts? Because I do get someone has a strong sense of self-pride. I see myself very good, and because I'm very good at spotting these things, these people, identifying, whether or not you're good or bad, whatever the situation is. If I have made a poor choice in judgment, this person was in a position where they were questioning themselves. So disconnection from you was essential in order for this person to, what feels like, reestablish themselves in their own energy, in order to feel more secure about what it is that they see, which is helping them to discern, hold on, am I getting played? Because I need to take a step back to make sure that I'm not getting played some sort of a fool. And this is kind of the energy of like, I am not an option. I am the only choice. And so if someone was in a position where they were made to feel that way, I am not a game, I am not a toy, and I am not to be played with, I am not to be with, then whoever this is, let me cut you off so that I can nourish myself in such a way where I'm able to identify what's what. And if I just need, maybe it is more information, if I just need to take some time, if there's maybe self-care that I need, whatever it is that I need, let me work on myself, is what I feel someone was doing. Because the last thing I want to do is be in a position where I'm treated or seen as though, or just being naive. I don't want to be ignorant. So someone's operating from that space. They don't want to operate in ignorance because they realize that their strength or their power is a forte. That means I don't give it to everyone. I don't give my time to everyone. I don't give my skills to everyone. I don't commit to everyone. This could even be physically. I don't give my body to everyone. So I need to make sure that I'm confident in the decisions that you're making, right? It could be a position, a job. Everybody doesn't get this role. This role is special. It's particular. It's not fit for everyone. And I thought that you were a fit, but now I'm not sure. So someone's in a position where I do feel this energy of I do get this energy, and let me be very clear. There could be some significance around a recusal. In a legal sense, a recusal is where someone typically they have a reason to say, I don't need to be involved. Okay. They recuse themselves. Usually that comes into play when someone plays a decision-making role. For example, if you're going to court and your cousin is the judge, obviously you guys have a tie in place that would incentivize you to rule in their favor. Okay. So this is situations like that. And it don't have to be a circumstance of that nature but it can be like that. I thought you was blood. I thought you was my cousin, right? I thought you was my favo. I thought you was my number one, right? Whatever the situation is, someone was perhaps under a certain impression. And then there was something that, again, it feels like foul. This could be a message. It could be anything that it feels like said to a person. Let me, again, recuse myself. Let me pull back, or what feels like restrain my strength, because someone felt as though there may have been an attempt. I feel like you're trying to dominate me. I feel like you're trying to, what could be like, again, take my power. It gives the energy of Sampson and Delilah, where someone perceives someone's decisions, choices, or their actions as being intended to cripple, right? If you remember, the whole story of Sampson and Delilah was that she wanted him to cut her hair when that was a secret to his power, to his strength. Okay. And so there could be some significance where you're asking someone, this could be like, you need to cut them off. You need to cut that out. And that person could be like, hold on, that's my strength, right? That's my power. And I never intended to let them go. Or what could be like to let that go. It could even be a habit. Like, this is something that I know is for me. It could be something that you do. It could be something that you don't do, but it feels as though someone was in a position where they were questioning that, and let me just be very clear, based on the energy that I see, it's very likely that someone is looking at this from a one-dimensional perspective. And so I do feel this energy. Yeah, I just heard got him. So I feel like someone is looking at this from a one-dimensional perspective. Where they're looking at one aspect of a connection. I feel like they're not giving attention to, or giving regard to, perhaps honoring of or respectful of the other aspects of whatever this connection is. And it almost feels like it's one faceted, right? Think about it again, how I talk about in court. If someone goes to court and whoever I'm against, if my cousin is the judge, then if the judge is only looking at me and say, I'm going to approve what it is that you're putting forward because you're my cousin, but the judge is not looking at, I just heard all the fouls that your cousin committed, then that's going to put someone in a position where it weakens them. So that person is then going to say, okay, I'm going to have to elevate this to a higher court, or I'm going to have to raise the issue of what could be a conflicting interest, because that's not fair. You're giving preferential treatment to your cousin, or it don't have to be family. This can be like your friend or this person, because you're only seeing it from the position of a resource. What could be like what you gain from them. You're not seeing what could be like the foulness, or what could be like the way that your person or whomever this is, you're not seeing how this person is doing things. Or like what could be like questionable, how they're getting their power, where they're getting their strength from. You're not asking, maybe it is how they're maybe doing whatever this is. And I don't think that that's necessarily, it's a matter of what feels like wherein a person is secure, wherein a person, perhaps this has to do with like, depending on how connected you are to a person, you may know their habits, you may know their routines, you may know what it is that they believe. Case in point, right? If I know that they're, For example, and this came up in earlier messages, I have a friend who cross dresses, right? He's a male, he dresses as a woman, and I don't have any problem with that's what he chooses to do. That's his business. I love him for him, and he knows that. Um, but this would be like someone who maybe it is someone who doesn't know him in that capacity, and they connect with him and they find that out, and they begin to question that person and say, why do you talk to them? Again, that would be a one-dimensional connection where I would say, you don't judge my friend. You don't know them. You don't, and obviously you're just looking at the external because you may have learned something about them, but it's some things that you don't understand. I trust them regardless of how you feel about them. You can feel whatever type of way it is that you want to. So I get an energy like that where there's something of that nature that's at play where someone may be, again, they may be questioning, they may be scrutinizing, but it feels like it has to do with cognitive distortions, where someone's point of view or perspective is distorted. They're seeing things in such a way where being like that or doing that, that doesn't give me peace. That's not how you do that. But it could be like from Ronald, right? I don't know why it's giving Normandy a whisper, like where it's like, we call that a little sinny sin sin versus a little twinny twin twin, right? And so it could be things of that nature where someone does something. Maybe it is kind of like drug of choice, but you think about it, right? Speaking of drug of choice, some drugs is like, that's questionable. I got to pull back from you. I can't be you. I can see you on that, and that might be what you want to do, but I can't do all of that. So I feel an energy that's like that causes someone again to begin to pull away, to demonstrate restraint, because if I don't want to be associated with what could be maybe perceived as unclean, or what I don't know whether or not is clean or not, then that's what I'm going to do. So I feel like some of you, depending on the situation or circumstance it is, I feel like be appreciative of what could have been some space of silence, rest, or like separation. It could mean that something was put on hold, or there's been what feels like some space and time. It gives the energy of like, I wanted to say emperor for whatever reason, but it gives the energy of like, I just heard temporary layoffs. So it can be things like that, right? It can be a temporary layoff from work, but perhaps the layoff is, again, if we're not sure, maybe it is about the market. If maybe something come up stolen and we don't know if you're the person that took it and we're questioning, then maybe we're going to put everybody on leave. We're going to lay everybody off until we can find out. I just heard who's the culprit. So like I said, I feel an energy like that where there's something that is not right in a situation or circumstance, and someone who is credible. That's what some of you need to know. In whatever situation you're dealing with, everybody is not dishonest. Some people are very, very credible. Some people are very, very responsible, and they want to know what the problem is. They're going to try and figure it out. They're going to try and come up with what feels like some sort of solution. And just so that you guys know, I'm not sure the reasons why, but they took down my board. I literally was very intentional before I came on here as it pertained to putting up a board. And I know some of you who have been on here, you have even seen the boards that I've had up lately. So I am going to see if I can apply it again, because it has instructions on it. And when I try to, it's not allowing me. So guys, take that as you will. If somebody wants to hit me in the comments and pin it, I would appreciate that. But I'm definitely not going to fight with it. But there is something I feel in the energy that, again, is not, it does not pass muster. This gives the energy of mustard seeds, okay? Mustard seed, depending on what color in the metaphysical property, mustard seeds have different purposes, okay? They provide for different things, and this is the dual nature of life, right? And this is why we cannot automatically condemn something. We also can't just rubber stamp approve something just on the merits of what it looks like alone. We have to dig deeper, because it's almost like if I sense something about the spirit is impure, but I give way to sensing that without finding out for certain, then I can miss out on an opportunity. I just heard he chose me. Okay. So there, I don't know, there could be some significance around that. I hear the name Mia could be significant, but it could be something like that, right? Not knowing who a person is choosing, right? I thought you were choosing me, right? Maybe that's not, it gives things like that. So if there is the appearance of impropriety, then this person has a desire to make known or make clear, right? If it's relationship and this is my person, if this is the one that I'm committing to, then I don't want there to be any question about it. I don't want it to look like I'm being funny or I'm doing something the wrong way. I want everyone to know that this is who I have chosen. I want to show them off. I want the world to see. I want that to be clear, because I don't want people questioning, it could be like my decisions, my faithfulness, things of that nature. This is like, I heard Steve Harvey the other day talking about how he don't go to parties. He's like, you won't find me in none of them parties because I don't even want it to look like, I don't even want to give the impression that I'm involved in some of the things that I know go on there. So it could be things of that nature where someone is like, I value what could be like my character, my name, my reputation. So I don't want to be involved in something that's going to, maybe it is like, make me look bad, that's going to make me look messy, that I'm going to get attention for, or people will no longer want to, what could be like, I won't be maybe seen in the same light it is that I'm seen in. Something makes me feel like some things are about to be cleared up, because through prayer and meditation that will be seen. So black mustard seed, let's talk about this, okay? Yellow mustard has different properties than black. All of them are different. I can't go through them all right now, obviously, but black mustard seed has the ability, number one, it can do several different things, okay? Black mustard seed has the ability to cause discord. You can use black mustard seed in spells to create discord, to cause arguments, and to stir up mischief and strife, okay? You can also use black mustard seed in a manner that offers protection, that says no evil shall cross this threshold. And this is kind of like, eat up at your own issues, at your own arguments, right? Fight your own fight or your own battle. Don't bring that here, okay? So 2 uses for black mustard seed, but if you don't know, then you won't know, okay? This is why intentions are important, right? Whatever your prayer is, whatever your petition, or whatever it is that you're meditating on is important. I say this because, again, black mustard seed, someone could see that and say, oh, you're trying to cause problems, you're trying to cause issues, while someone may be in a position where they're using it as a preventative measure. No, trying to prevent any problems, trying to prevent any issues. And so there's a dual nature, it feels like, to the relationship that someone has. And that's why when it comes to what could be an impure spirit, there's a need, it feels like, to search it out. And that's kind of like, search me, Lord, if I'm impure, if I'm giving way to distortion, where I'm just looking at, or I'm taking something personal, or in the way in which it appears to me, right? The things that I notice based on the things that I see, then bring to my attention or my awareness the things that I need to know, or that I need to see, in order to give me peace with moving forward, or to give me peace with going a different direction, with being over this or over you, okay? So I feel this energy where, whether you know it or not, someone's in a position where they still may be at a place where they're still discovering or on a path to find this peace, right? That can mean that someone's praying more. That can mean that they're reading more. Someone could be fasting. I feel like someone's doing something that it pulls them in, okay? They are what feels like, I get the energy of vittles, where they're doing something that I feel is healthy to them, that they see as healthy, in order for them to protect what feels like their position, so that they show up and they're in a position of power and they have authority, so that they have peace of mind with something. Yep, there it is. Okay. Peace of mind then comes in, just so that you guys know. So someone does get the peace it is that they need. And it feels as though They address what could be like the double-mindedness. They address what could be like the if there was something, some sense of like someone playing games, or what could even be a sense of a middleman, what feels like could be their own scars, even, right? A person's own need to heal. Then someone is gaining clarity about that. That is being made known, it's being made real, and it feels as though the real one is ringing true. So this means if there's a candidate, I just heard if there's an incumbent, if there is a person I feel who is fit, if this speaks to capabilities, who is capable, who can actually do this, not just who wants this, right? This is in a relational sense, not just who wants me, right? Not just who wants the job in a business sense, not just who's saying that they can, but who actually can. Someone is getting what feels like confirmation about that is dispelling all myths. What it is clearing up all distortions, because some choice or action that a person takes makes this known beyond the shadow of a doubt to someone. Okay, and what it does is it breaks through their ability to restrain. So if they were holding back, the beauty of when conscious awareness comes through and it clicks, then God makes known something that says, have no fear. You don't need to restrain yourself. You don't need to hold back. So I do feel the energy of whomever this is going to be in a position where now they're going to very powerfully, with great confidence, they're going to plow forward. Now that this has broken through, now that this has been made clear, now that this has been made known to them, this person now has what feels like the green light. They know what it is to do, and they have peace, every bit of peace about doing it. Okay, because it feels as though God has given them confidence in that something or someone is the plan. Okay, this is the plan, this is my peace, do it. And so they're doing it. On the other side of this, I just heard, don't let it scare you. Okay, because it does feel as though this is I hear Monica love all over me, which makes me feel whatever this is. I don't know why I feel the energy of, let me just tell you, this is like, I hear all over the place. Okay. And I don't get a mess, but something's going to be all over the place and not messy. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank God for your wisdom. I'm always so thankful and fulfilled from your messages. It always hits. I appreciate that, Kara Dice. That is always my intention, is that God would allow purity to flow forward from my messages. And I know sometimes to some they don't make sense, but I just trust that the Holy Spirit will bring revelation to the purity in my own relationship with God, and that would always be made known, even if not now, that it would come through later, and that it would be realized undeniably, that God speaks to me and God moves me in ways that his wonders only are able to perform. And so I feel this energy where someone may have hesitated. I hear what is that song, Linger by the Cranberries, which makes me feel like someone may have taken their time. They may have lingered. Something was delayed, but I hear specifically, it shall not be denied. Somebody wants a child. This person is not going to deny you your baby. They're not going to make you wait. It feels like, I don't know why I get the energy of like, someone wants to be healed. And this could be like, if there's someone that you want to see, or like, I get this, someone wants something. Okay. Someone wants the chance. They want the opportunity. And this could be like to be happy. There's something, and I don't know why I feel like you are going to know this. This is what they desire. And someone has had to wait for it. And I feel the energy of, in your waiting, you have had to go through something. It's almost like you keep getting put on hold. You keep getting spun. You keep getting what feels like sabotage. It's almost like to the point where it's almost like surprising. Why do I continue to go through this? And it has made you so uncomfortable to keep going through this over and over again. It feels like the energy of the spin cycle, like you just keep getting washed out, or what feels like washed up. And it feels like, again, whether it's being treated like an option, whether it's just being treated as like, it's almost like for some of you, this has to do with like someone, maybe it is dealing with addiction, maybe it's saying that they're over whatever their drug is, but then noticing perhaps that they're still using. It gives that type of energy. It's like you said you were what could be like done, but you just took a break. And this could be from a person. It feels like it could be dealing with like in relationships, it could be cheating situationships. You said you were done with that, or you said you were done with them, but you keep going back to it like a dog to his vomit. This makes me feel like someone, I get the energy, has had it. Okay. And some of you, I'm talking about you maybe have had it. And so it's something that when it comes to being by yourself or just taking time of space, I've had to heal from too many things. For some of you, this could even be like diseases, and it could be like, no. So you've learned to restrain yourself. You learn to remain chaste. You don't, this is where you're waiting, right? I'm not giving attention to everything or everybody that gives attention to me. I don't mind holding out or holding back. I'm not scared. I'm not worried about that. I know what love is. So I have to make sure that someone really loves me. I have to look at the way that they move, the choices that they make, the things that they do. Do they give in to every advance? Do they give in to every temptation? How is it that they move? When it comes to this person, do they have a problem? What could be like when I'm silent, right? Do I see them? Do they start giving attention to someone else or something else? This is in the job too. If I lay them off, right? Do they just go get another job? Just because I had to take what could be some time to be able to maybe make a decision who's worthy of this promotion, who's ready for the next step up. And I feel like, again, someone's receiving confirmation of that in some way today. And it has them in a position where I do feel this person is, this is the thing, when you get in a place where you okay with just like waiting on God to show you again. And this can, for some of you, like I said, this is in a professional capacity where someone is professional, like they're very good at what they do. So they are able to, they have enough imposters is what it feels like. Imposter syndrome. Whoever this is has seen enough imposters come through and play the role in what feels like bring attention to things that, would only like, it's like, this is what I want you to notice, while what could be like remaining silent to the things that I know you need to know, or I know reasonably you should notice this, or you would see that whoever this is very good at identifying that, which feels like, are you just talking about what they did, or do you address what you did too type of energy? So someone's good at what feels like remaining silent is the energy that it gives. Somebody could be a police officer, but it gives the energy of like, you have the right to remain silent. So it kind of observes in the silence or meditates on the silent spaces, the things that a person hasn't said that they notice. And again, it's like, I noticed you didn't say anything about this. I noticed you didn't say anything about that. I noticed you didn't do anything about this. I noticed blah, blah, blah. Well, whatever this is, has a person now what feels like having clarity about that. Okay. They do have clarity about whatever that is. And at very least a peace enough to be able to address or to confront it. Okay. So whomever this is about to step outside of their comfort zone. Okay. And they're going to speak straight from their heart. Okay. And you're going to be able to see this on this person's face. Okay. You're going to know that they're being honest in whatever it is that they're stepping outside of their comfort zone is saying. And I feel like whomever this is has hesitated to some degree. They have waited to some degree. But now I feel someone has confirmation that this would be pleasing to God for them to do, or what feels like it would show them in a light that needs to be seen, or that they know it would reveal an aspect of them that they want to make sure is clear and not seen as impure, not seen as impropriety. Some of you, this could come up in a way, and I'll be honest, I don't trust any practitioner that doesn't talk about or give insight to how they do what they do. Someone who just says, I just do what I do. And I don't mean in every situation, right? You think about, there are some things that are proprietary in nature, right? In business. I'm not about to tell you everything, how I go about the step by, that's proprietary. That's my own little blend. That's the way I do things. But there's also an aspect of that that is it secretive because you're doing something you ain't got no business? Is that why you have to do it in secret? And this is kind of a question that we have to ask ourselves at every step in the juncture, because of the way in which it could appear. Why are you hiding, right? It gives, and I can't lie, sometimes this is how I feel about people on my channel. If you're a supporter of me, why do you have to hide? Why can you not come in the room, right? And obviously I realize the other side of that, which could be, I don't know if it's, I don't want no smoke, right? Or maybe it is kind of like, maybe I want to see if you pick up on my energy, even when you don't see my little, maybe facial icon. There could be things of that nature. Whatever the situation is, who they work with, whether directly or divination. No, I think that is important. But not only who they're working with, but intention is so much, because it's not the who. And that is what, for me at least, right? And I know everybody has their own convictions, but for me at least, I don't. When God shows me everything that God created is for a reason and for a purpose. If God created it and it exists, if it's actually real, then God has also placed purpose along with the power that he's placed in it. So I'm less concerned about the who as I am concerned about the why, because this is the thing. If I say, I'm going to work with weapons of mass destruction. Why are you working with weapons of mass destruction? Because I want to protect the home front, or because I want to protect against the actions that I've taken and they're coming for me. What does that mean? That means that if something that you've done is wrong, then you'll use those weapons of mass destruction. If I'm the person, if I don't agree with what you've done that's wrong, you'll use those weapons of mass destruction against me. You'll use them to destroy me. So I want to know your purpose or your reason for using those weapons of mass destruction. Is it because of what you've done? You've done something impure and you're trying to protect yourself against your impure actions. So I feel an energy that's like that. And this could be, obviously, we have world matters that are taking place right now, and it would behoove. And as you can see, Congress is saying they are grilling Hegseth on why you're wanting these billions of dollars, because they're going to take away resources from people on the home front. And in order to do that, to take food out of this mouth, in order to put it in order to put weapons in your hand, I need a damn good reason. Why are we fighting this battle? Do we even have business over there? Or are we in a position where we minding others' business and we need to take care of home? And so I feel things of that nature at play today, okay? So again, Spirit has given what feels like confirmation. And on the other side of Spirit giving confirmation, it feels as though there's a standing on God's word. So when God gives you whatever this green light is, whether you are expressing, you're showing love, you're offering love, or whether you're in a position where you're receiving someone else's expression, then don't be surprised. Don't let it overwhelm you, because it feels as though, again, delayed, but certainly not denied. Leo energy. And yeah, Leo and Gemini is what I have here. For some of you, this could have to do with relationships, because Leo rules fifth house, which is a house of romance. It's also the house of fun. So this could have to do with like good times, having fun in your relationships, right? Enjoyable relationships, ones that you appreciate being around, ones that you actually do. I am satisfied. I am happy. I am joyful. You are fulfilling to me. And maybe realizing the satisfaction, and perhaps the opportunity presenting, to be able to, this could be to see someone or to show someone love. or to make clear to them, make known to them. Perhaps I hesitated, or what could be like I was concerned, I was worried, right? But what feels like, I don't know why it gives the energy of I am real or this is real, and revealing that in some way. Okay. The truth is going to be made known, it feels, by the end of the day. That's what I have for you. I love you. Like, follow, subscribe. Some of you are getting approved for something, is what I'm getting. You're getting approved. You're going to be shown love. Someone is going to approve you in some way, because what feels like your sonship has been revealed. And although they may have questioned whether or not you were walking in oneness, it feels as though that's where the confirmation is coming, and this person is no longer delaying. It feels as though they're making haste so that it's clear to you. Okay. All right. That's what I have for you. I love you. And we'll talk again real soon. Bye for now.